Warning: the following audio podcast may include language of an adult, nonsensical, repetitive, and quite frankly, moronic nature. On the plus side, if you watch the video version, you get to see two sexy motherfuckers. Enjoy the show.
And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Ooh, welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 148, we celebrate our 3rd anniversary by offering you the exact same episode we give you every single week. I'm Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man from San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here. 3 years of the Waffle Box, the original Waffle Box. You accept no substitutions because it is the best part of Wednesdays. Coming to you all the way from the future home to Super Bowl 60. You love us because we do this, and we do this because we love you. Producer Lathan, what's going on, and what's going on with this bottle of wine?
Howdy there, fellas. The weather is absolutely beautiful here in parts unknown. The sun is shining, not a single cloud in the sky, and pollen has covered every car as far as the eye can see.
Nice.
I actually took a Google deep dive into what exactly pollen is, and apparently it's microscopic grains discharged from the male part of a flower. So apparently the warm weather has made the flowers horny as hell, and they've decided to jizz all over my Toyota. And don't get me started on allergies, the sick fucks.
Marvelous, marvelous. Yes, pollen can go fuck itself. But cheers, Kush.
Okay.
Shall we? What do you got
Cheers.
there?
3 years, buddy.
What do you got?
This is champagne. It
Ooh.
is barefoot bubbly. It is a pink Moscato.
Oh,
Why
well,
not?
this is a brown malt premium lager from the Netherlands.
Oh,
It's
that's exciting.
Heineken, I believe it's called.
Heineken.
Cheers, buddy. Clink.
Cheers, my guy. Thank you for having us on this journey you call the Waffle Box.
You know what, time? It's such a cliche, but time flies when you're having fun. Who thought
It really does.
3 years ago, when we were still stuck inside, because
There was a pandemic still going on.
Still a pandemic going on, and we decided. And I just reached out to you, and said, "Hey, buddy, I was doing a podcast, but the guy fucked off, and I really want to do a podcast. And I don't want to do a podcast on my own because I tried that for 3 episodes, and it was miserable." I was like, "Hey, buddy, do a podcast, and we've known each other for a while. We'll do a podcast." And you was like, "Sure, let's give it a try." And then on May 1st, 2021. We released the pilot episode of the Waffle Box, and I went back and looked. I thought this would be fun. Maybe I could rewatch it and kind of splice it up and play some old clips. Oh. Good lord, it's miserable. I got about 3 minutes in, and I was like, "This is embarrassing." But I assumed it wouldn't be great, but you know, it was.
It was our first
Very
time out.
awkward.
I took a peek at it also. I didn't go through the entire episode. I was just like, did I do a review on this one? Like, what was the first review I did? It would be Conjuring 3, 4 episodes later. However, yeah, in that first episode, so audibly I'm fine, but visibly I'm very nervous and uncomfortable because I've only been a voice in the podcast game before that. So I'm just like a camera. I don't know what to do. I don't do my body. For some reason, I'm tilted to the side. Like, I don't know if I'm sitting down on this stool or in a chair. I imagine I'm in a chair because I'm doing this bullshit the entire time. So, but yeah, I didn't actually listen to the content. But no bueno.
I'm sure it's fine, but I think it's just us talking about how we met and then just bullshitting for an hour to just kind of fill up time, see how it goes. But then there's like one episode, I can't remember, it was like the 3rd or 4th episode. I've obviously been fucking around with my camera, trying to get a good angle. And it's just literally the whole episode, you could just see like my nose, like, and it's like, why am I hiding? It's like, so whatever, it was terrible. But
Gotcha.
I did get some little. I was going through the archives. And I thought, wait, there's certain things that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when do we start doing them? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And a little thing I'm proud of, quite frankly, is because we are technically, I believe, in our 3rd iteration of our logo, the podcast.
Okay.
But the one we're going now, I think, is the one I like. I do like that Waffle Box logo, so I'm gonna stick with it. One thing I'm proud of: same intro song for all 148 episodes.
I mean, it's a good ditty with the horns and all that. Like it. I get excited when you play that song for us, and I'm just like, we're here. This is it. This is the original Waffle Box. We're in it.
Although I remember early on, I did do like random movie sound bites.
Yeah.
I don't think you was a big fan of that, was you?
No, I was just like, oh my God, there's so much copyright infringement happening here. It turned out to be absolutely nothing, but it also didn't flow well. Like just jumping, having the British guy call us some sexy motherfuckers, and then just going into the horn. That's better. Maybe I'm
Also,
biased on that one.
the early episodes, because before I got Mr. Beck Becker, shout out to Beck Becker, who's the guy who does the voiceover in the intro. Before I managed to find him and get him to do it, I did it, and it sounds horrible because for some reason I'm doing this really weird voice, like I'm trying to be like an announcer, and it's like, and now coming to you live. Oh,
I thought that was
so
good. I didn't realize that was you. I thought you literally like paid someone else to do that. So this is the first time hearing it. But I was like, I always enjoyed the corny PA announcer.
Well, you've met him now officially.
Hey, all right.
What up? What up, buddy? How many episodes in do you think was the first time that I introduced the podcast as the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time?
Oh, geez.
I was
say
shocked.
that's real early. It's now like episode 2.
It's episode 2.
Oh, far out, yeah. Because I was like, it wasn't
really?
the first episode, but
for some
we've
reason
been
I
doing
thought
that
I'd covered
forever.
it. Yeah. The first episode is just literally me going, oh, hello. I do that voice. I do that exact voice. I don't know why I did that. Oh, hello. Welcome to Waffle Box. First ever Done World Record featured. I don't know whether this was when it become a recurring segment, but the first ever thing that I announced it as, and this week we're talking about a Done World Record.
Episode 5?
You're good, but you're wrong, but you're good. It's episode 4.
4, okay. Yeah, because a lot of the staples we have on the show, we've just been running with. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. A couple things we've tweaked here and there, but for the most part, it's like you said at the top of the show, it's the same show we've been doing.
And spoiler alert, yeah, because we've been doing the middle of the show quiz for all the feel good segments, the good story at the end. That's pretty much consistent. And then the only one that's been inconsistent was, I can't remember, we was doing like the trapdoor, and then we did the celebrity battle royal, and then we just scrapped it because it's shit. So we'll try to come up with something else in that bit. But the last one, this one took me a while to find. That might be a little bit of a clue. The first time that I introduced you as the main man from San Fran.
Oh, that didn't happen early? Fascinating. I would have said episode 2.
Episode 51.
51, really? A whole year?
Yeah, before then, it was like, oh, God damn, it was almost there because I was like trying to jump ahead a couple of episodes to find it. A lot of times, about 10 episodes before that, I was just calling the main man Kush. I was like,
okay.
And also, I think you got asked to be a judge at some movie.
That's fun.
And for a while, I was
Iron
calling
Dragon TV Film Festival.
Yeah, and I was like introducing you as the Right Honorable Kush.
That's right. Yeah, because I was a judge.
Because you was a judge.
Yeah. I remember my beard was a lot longer.
Oh, so was mine.
And then I remember looking in the camera going like, I need some sort of like chain or medallion or something. And it took a while to get there, but I finally got it in. And then you see me try and rotate them out as often as possible. But yeah.
There was one episode where I brag like, hey, it's me looking fresh straight out the barbershop. And I just steal this massive beard that looked like the hair looked nice, but the beard, I was like, really? Did you only pay half? What am I doing? Yeah. It is weird to look back at yourself from only 3 years ago, but
a lot has happened in those 3 years, though, man. But then you know, again, we've done so many different things too with the show. Again, we did an episode where I was in quarantine. That was fun. We've done several episodes from a baseball game. We can't show you the footage because the Major League Baseball will sue us. But done several shows out again. We did a couple episodes where I'm overseas. And those weren't easy to coordinate either.
No. because I had to do them early in the morning, and I
Oh,
don't
really?
like doing early in the morning things.
Sorry about it.
But yeah, there's a couple in Amsterdam. There's one. I think he was in. Where was it? Los Angeles in a hotel.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you're like, why are you in the bathroom? And I was like, it's got the best light. Shoot.
Yes, there was an episode where he was in the bathroom the whole episode. That was
Yeah.
funny.
I tried to dress it up so I wasn't in the bathroom. Be like, no, it's the bathroom mirror, man. It's a there's a sink right there. Come on, Kush.
Oh, I think you put a towel over the sink to make it look
Yep.
less sinky.
Yes.
But yeah, you had the mirror with the Hollywood lights around it. It did look pretty good, but it was obviously a bathroom.
Oh, and then a toilet flushed. No one was
it?
using the toilet. They just that automatic, but toilet just like clear itself every now and then. And it was like in the middle of something, and like
Oh, he was
yeah,
making like some really deep, profound point, and then right at the end of it, it's like, well, brilliant.
yeah.
Oh,
Good
but
times.
they had 3 years. So anyway, other than the last 3 years, what have you been up to in the last week? Anything exciting?
Nothing really exciting. I caught up on some TV. Amazon Prime has a show called Fallout. It's based on a video game series that I've never played, and I think I'm still confusing with other games. But however, found the series very good. All episodes are usually around about an hour. There's 8 of them out, and it's a quick burn. Surprisingly, I had no problem following it. Quirky characters, interesting story that makes you just want to know more. I don't think I ever want to get into playing the game itself, but I am looking forward to a season 2 and can't imagine why they wouldn't make it.
It's funny you said you're confusing it with a different thing, is because as soon as you said, "Oh, it's based on a video game that I haven't played," I was like, "Oh, I think I played that, and I think I have it." And I turned around, and it's BioShock. But I have. It's
Okay,
not
see,
Fallout.
yeah,
So yeah,
there's a guy on a robot. I know in BioShock and in Fallout. And I think that's what I keep getting mixed up with.
BioShock's weird. I don't know. I didn't finish it. It just seemed a bit there. What TV I have watched? I started watching. I'm a bit late to the game. I watched the first 2 episodes of Baby Reindeer on Netflix. Have you watched that?
I've been hearing that name this weekend. I don't know what it is about though.
It's based on a true story,
Mhm.
and I won't give anything away. But it's basically about a up and coming, I guess, or wannabe trying to be a stand up comedian,
Okay.
and his stalker basically.
Oh, delightful.
And fun fact, the guy who plays the main character is the actual guy from real life. So he's depicting his real life and acting out his being stalked.
Oh, okay. Who's the comedian?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't think he made it.
Honest answer. Honest answer.
But yeah, it's one of those shows. It's good, but it's funny, but it's heavy at the same time.
Okay.
But it's filmed very well in that during some of the stalkery bits, you kind of do feel like you're being stalked as well. If that makes sense.
Sure.
And so normally I love to binge watch shows when they're good, but this was like 2 episodes. I was like, I need to take a break. Might come back to this tomorrow. This is getting too heavy.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it's good. It's good.
Okay.
Trying. Have you heard of that show? It's a British show.
Okay.
It's about a couple that were trying to have a baby, but then they couldn't have a baby, and so now it's following their like trials and tribulations to adopt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like if Ted Lasso wasn't about football, but it was about trying to adopt people.
Okay.
If you know what I mean? It's like it's heartwarming, it's nice, and it's like, oh, there's trials and tribulations, but it's every episode ends in you feel good about yourselves.
Nice.
So if you wanna check that out, if you want something new to watch, I highly recommend it. Trying. I don't know what it's on, if I'm honest.
Sounds like an Apple thing, but that is just because you said Ted Lasso. So
it might be on Apple actually. You might be right. You might be right. But yeah, Trying. It's British, so you get to hear all accents like me.
Oh, fun.
Well, before I start sweating anymore because it's very hot in Waffle Box HQ, shall we kick right into gear?
Yeah, let's go.
Lathan, if you could do me the honors, hit the buttons to introduce this week's top stories.
It's now time for this week's top stories.
I think we've been saying bubbles for 2 years now.
Bubbles. That's I do wish I'd. Right, here's a little tip for anyone starting a podcast. Right, in terms of making a success, you're asking the wrong person. But in terms of funsies, if you think you're gonna go for a while, try to make a note of everything that you do in terms of like, because it's fun. I wish I'd known, like, which episode did we start doing this? Which episode did we start doing that? Rather than having to painstakingly go through the YouTube archives, and then because it always remembers where you last left off, and so you have to rewind it and then fast forward, and it's a pain in the ass. Anyway, this week's top story comes to us from the fashion capital of the world,
Milan.
Milan. Ooh,
Okay,
la
great.
la. That's Paris, but Milan. So this caught my eye. It's not that great of a big story, but the headline is very grab your attention, and oh my god, the world is ending, the sky is falling, and then the story is like very mundane. But I don't know. The reason I want to talk about it is because I want to know what's in their heads. The headline: Milan poised to ban ice cream.
Oh, why?
Right. So So in naturally, I'm like, I need to hear more.
Big gelato coming down on little ice cream. Oh no.
Yeah. So a legislative starting paper, apparently that's legal speak. I don't fully understand that, but whatever. Has been filed by Milan's local government, and if passed, it could see late night ice creams banned as soon as next month.
Late night ice cream. What?
Yeah.
Some of its verbiage here I'm not understanding.
Covering 12 districts, the proposal would ban all takeaway food, including pizza and drink after midnight, in an effort to clamp down on noisy groups crowding. So basically, what they're doing is, right, so can we stop serving food late at night so we can sleep a little bit better?
I mean, you could just close the shop at midnight, guys. Nothing says you have to stay open.
This is an effort to clamp down noisy groups crowding on the streets of the Italian city, keeping local residents up. Marco Granelli, deputy mayor, said, quote, "The goal is to seek a balance between socializing and entertainment and the peace and tranquility of residents." The proposal would be effective from mid-May and last until November. It would kick in at 12:30 a.m. on weekdays and 1:30 a.m. on weekends and public holidays, applying to outdoor tables only in an effort to clear the streets. So it's just falling to pieces the further you go into the argument. Like the article, it's like, we're banning ice cream. Oh, we're banning food after a certain time. Oh, but only if you sit outside. So if you go inside, you can still eat. Like, I don't know why this was such a big thing.
Yeah, slow news day.
And again, this is kind of like, I'm just portraying my pain of like, oh, this is a juicy article. And then by the end, I got to it. And I was like, what the fuck? I need to share my pain. Citizens in Milan have until early May to appeal and suggest changes to the law. Just
okay.
Right. Maybe, no offense, if you live in like Milan or London or New York City, don't be a bitch. Like those cities are going to be lively. You might hear some people talking late at night. Move. That's what I say. Or am I being too harsh?
I don't know. We'll see what happens when people start congregating outside your bedroom window in New Jersey. Then
I'm not going to divulge the exact location of where I live in New Jersey, but trust me, there is never going to be a hustling, bustling nightlife where I live.
All right. Well, you might be a little jaded then. You might be a little jaded, but yeah, this article is dumb. So, and everyone here was dumber for hearing it now.
I've told you about my issues with the Ring doorbell neighborhood section. The most excitement we get is like every 4th of July.
They're shooting firecrackers.
No,
my dog is freaking out.
Did anyone hear gunshots? And it's just fireworks, you dick. I was like, oh, hey, I saw a fox on the loose. What? Where else were you gonna think you were gonna see it? Driving? Fucking idiots. So yeah, there's weird people around here. So on the off chance, if you do live in where I live and you recognize me because happenstance you watch this podcast, I'm not talking about you. You're all right. You're the right one. It's the others. They're all weird. Not you. You're good. You're cool.
Yeah, I've been ignoring the Ring app neighbor alerts just because of stupid shit like you've been talking about. I ever have made the mistake of re-downloading the Citizen app. So just today alone, car reported stolen. All right, whatever. But then it was like fight at McDonald's a mile away. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty crazy. And then like, it gets so extreme to like man reported walking down the street with a knife. And it's like, Jesus Christ. Oh,
maybe he was just taking it for a walk.
he might be just taking his knife for a walk. Sure.
That'd be funny if you just saw like it'd be concerning but funny at the same time if you just saw a man dragging a knife that was connected to a leash.
Yes, that would be fun.
It'd be fun. Yeah, I do ring. Like with the CCTV and Big Brother's watching us and things like that.
Mhm.
In a weird way, my Ring doorbell would be way more productive if it had some kind of facial recognition in there. I know it's probably because
you got to get a newer model for that, but that exists.
Oh, it does? Because I want it to recognize me.
Yeah.
I had to turn off one of the main features where it tells you, hey, there's some motion by your front door. I had to turn it off because my phone
quickly too.
My phone was going off every fucking time I went for a cigarette. I know there's motions at the front fucking door. It's me.
Mm-hmm. No, I had to turn that thing off, not because it was recognizing me or even like people. But like, yeah, a dog would walk by, a cat would walk by. One day we had such a beautiful day. It was casting a shadow and the wind was blowing. So the shadow from the tree is just freaking out the camera. And it's just like, what's going on here? Like a car passes by, like, motion detected. Like, God damn it. Like it's
the tree monsters are coming, Kush.
So yeah, we still check the Ring app quite frequently, but no, we ignore the neighbors part, and we turned off alerts unless someone rings that doorbell. And guess what? For some reason, it's FedEx, UPS, the post office, Amazon. They're all now, I guess, trained to not ring the doorbell. They're very doorbell phobic. It's quite bizarre. Even like on the special notes on Amazon, like, what would you like us to do with your package? Leave it on the back door? Leave it on the front porch? Like, leave it on the front porch and ring the damn bell. That's how I know you're there. And they still don't do that. Where I was going.
I like on the odd occasion it has worked very well for me. A delivery man has rung the doorbell when they needed a signature and I wasn't home. So I was able to speak to him through the ring. And I'm like, okay, I'll be home in like 30 minutes. And he goes, okay, I'll continue my route. I'll be back at some point. So, appreciate it, buddy. Won't take quite well. Rather than it going all the way back to the depot. So that's one victory ring. But other than that, you're kind of annoying. Next top story. Oh, we're speaking about Amsterdam. Well, we go back to the Netherlands now for this next top story. This one is
very exciting,
right? So Dutch cities divided over work from home plan for sex workers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, please?
Dutch cities divided over work from home plan for sex workers.
They don't want weirdos hanging out in the fucking hallway. I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Okay, I already see we're going to agree to disagree on this one. Let me get into the information. So Dutch cities are divided on whether sex workers should be allowed to work from home. Well, sex work has been legal in the Netherlands since 2000. A limited number of regions have allowed sex workers to operate independently from home. Proposed legislation could change that, with the government looking to regulate the sector, more tax, and regulate the sector to reflect the increase in home-based and online work. That would mean sex workers would need to meet strict conditions to get a permit from their local authority. But a number of regions...
So far, I'm down with all this.
What?
So far, I understand, and I'm down with all this.
So far, because she's on board. Yeah. But a number of regions are not happy with the prospect of working from home in the industry. NOS, the Netherlands' largest news organization, surveyed 150 municipalities, and found many believed it would, quote, be a nuisance for local residents. Beverwijk, a town about 12 miles northwest of Amsterdam, told NOS it predicted that quality of life and the sense of safety in the neighborhood would deteriorate with a change in the rules.
Surely, if anything, the quality of life would improve in these towns. I'd much rather live in an area with everyone skipping around with empty sacks than a bunch of pent-up sexually frustrated assholes. But that's just me.
I agree. See?
I mean, they already have they have exclusive districts, so the guys still don't have to be pent up. Yeah, this is where we get to the part where, like, yeah, people don't want creeps lingering in front of their house because Miss Johansson's having a popular day. All right, like that's I totally get where they're coming from. Otherwise, you need a permit. Cool. How many people are gonna follow that permit rule? Like in the United States, no one's gonna follow that permit rule. But maybe they're a little more office friendly in the Netherlands. Yeah, again, I'm down with all this, but I totally see why the residents are like, hey, I don't want some drunk cunt hanging out because, again, Miss Johansson is backed up for the day. Like she's taken on one too many gentlemen suitors.
Moerdijk,
Ooh, God bless you.
pronouncing that right, in the south of the Netherlands, argued it would lead to traffic congestions. Let me try that one again. It would lead to traffic congestion. So what are they having, like drive-through like McDonald's?
Yeah,
Just
well, again,
pull up.
guys
Quick
are
hand job,
driving
please.
in from town. They got to find a parking spot. They got to do a couple laps around the block because, again, Miss Johansson having a 2-for-1 special.
It could also lead to street disturbances. Like what? People like, no, I'm next.
Again, you guys get drunk, things get out of control.
Well, them being drunk has nothing to do with the sex people, whether you have sex workers at home or not, that people are going to get drunk.
Anyways, go on.
Oh, pardon me. And people in the area feeling less safe. I don't know why people would feel less safe, but
Again, you attract an unwanted attention, unwanted tourists.
I don't know. It just think like I appreciate like maybe if it was like a drug den where they're selling like crack and meth and heroin, then sure you might get some sketchy people. But if someone just wants a happy ending, I don't know. I'd be okay with it. But
they're imagining the worst of the worst case scenario with the Johns or whatever they call them over there. So they're they aren't seeing the father of 5 who got out, who he has 90 minutes to himself and he wants to spend it at Miss Johansson's parlor and just get some sloppy toppy and then go back to his life again. Like they're not thinking about that. They're literally thinking about the guys walking around with knives who are probably plastered and horny and frustrated.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you can have some crazy guy running around with a knife, I'd much rather him be, happy than sexually frustrated.
But shit happens on the way to the parlor all the time. You bump into somebody. We were almost there. We're so close yet so far. Like, and now we're engaged in a knife fight in the middle of the city center. Like,
you made me late for my appointment. This is a knife. That's a spoon. So you played knifey spoony before.
You only get one chance with Edna Krabappel. You ruined it.
At one point, they did say here at the end that some places raise concerns about the safety of sex workers and difficulty monitoring home work and environments. I get that. That bit I get. But again, I'm assuming if they're good at it, they're making enough money, I'm sure they'll hire some big stocky fella to stand outside to make sure no funny business happens during the funny business.
Yeah, not everyone.
But maybe that's part of it. If you want a license to bump uglies at home for money, then you have to prove that you've got an employed bouncer or something like that.
They should absolutely have protection with them, but also, yeah, not everyone's going to be top shelf quality like Edna Krabappel and Miss Johansson.
Oh, Johansson. For what she did, how she kept her hands so soft, I have no idea.
Lots of lotion.
Wow, lots of lotion. Apparently, male froth is good for your skin. Apparently, that's what I heard.
Okay. You heard it here on the Waffle Box first, folks.
But my socks are very soft.
They at least aren't like hard as glass and just shatter when you like just tap it against the bedpost.
Is that just such a cliche, or
Yes.
do you know people that have actually done that? Do they like masturbate into their socks?
Anyone that I know that's done that has never really admitted it. I've never done it because I'm like, ew, I don't want my dirty sock on my dick.
Yeah, just
Uh,
bit of tissue.
so
What's wrong with a bit of tissue?
what's wrong with a tissue? Yeah.
And like because it's always cliche, like the movies and stuff like that, where the parent finds like, what's this stain on the towels? What fucking cheesing on the
Well,
towels?
it's adding to the phallus joke. It's another phallus thing. So, anyways, but yes, people do use their sock. Why I don't know. I mean, I do know it's easy cleanup, but guess what? So's a tissue, stupid.
Like, unless there's some amazing material that some company is making socks out of that it feels like a vagina. Then I kind of want to know, because that oh my god, that feels so good on my feet. After a long day at work, you come home.
Well, you're
your
looking
vagina
for a
socks
fifi
on.
at that point.
Oh,
What you want is a rubber glove and a washcloth and a little KY jelly, and that's called a fifi.
just walking around the apartment squelching with your sex socks on. I think I'll give that a pass. But there you go. Good luck to Dutchland, Netherlands,
New Dutchland.
New Dutchland on your sex work.
Yeah, keep us posted.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we?
Moving on. Number 3.
Jesus Christ, it's so fucking... No, there's no more top stories. The main top story is that, look at us, 3 years. But other than us to have achieved 3 years of the Waffle Box, and I did quick maths. So there's 52 weeks in a year, times that by 3, which is 156.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was a 2-month gap between episode 1 and 2, though.
I think it was only 1 month, but
okay, well,
but that's even more impressive because then, right? So 156 episodes potentially in 3 years. This is 148, which means we've only actually missed 8 episodes. But like you say, we skipped like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. There was a time also you got trapped in the United Kingdom in your own quarantine, and then like we didn't have equipment, so we couldn't do anything. So yeah, we've only missed a couple episodes.
Oh, what a gang we are, huh? Committed to the cause, baby. And for those that are keeping score, I don't know if it shows up anywhere, but this is officially, just to keep my OCD, this is officially episode 1 of season 4 of the Waffle Box.
Okay.
Not that this episodic or anything, and there's no storyline woven between these podcasts, but still.
I always just use the top of the year for my new season, so.
Well, that could work. Oh well, whatever.
Whatever.
Episode 1, season 4. Welcome.
There you go.
Christ. I'm sitting here baking.
Oh, you're just baking. Yeah.
Just not to get too information away, but I've been sitting there for like 25 minutes with my legs crossed, and now my groin area is very sweaty. Anyway, other than us achieving 3 years, let's talk about someone else that's achieved something. And to prove it, they paid someone from an Irish brewery to come watch them do the thing, and then they give them a piece of paper and go, yeah, you did that thing. Well done. Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. You good boy. It's that time for this week's Dumb World Record of the week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why?
Why?
Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
I got sweaty balls. This week's Dumb World Record takes to us.
Get that drop.
Britland. Woo!
Britland.
My home, my native land, tears of the Native America, Britain. Anyway, so a British man ran a distance of 1 mile through the water in a swimming pool in an attempt to break a Guinness World Record.
Wow, how many laps is that?
Adam Lopez, 37, ran 63 laps
Okay.
in the 82-foot pool at Newfield Heath in Norwich, England. Norwich. So he talks like this. I'm from Norwich. I'm a tractor. I got tractors and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's all funny because that's from Norwich and they're like Norfolk. But then if you go a little bit down south, there's Suffolk, where there's Ipswich, and they hate each other, and they sound exactly the fucking same. And if you mix them up, they do not like that at all. I found that out once when I went to Ipswich, and I assumed I was in Norfolk, and they were like, "What? No, we're in Suffolk, mate. Fucking Norwich, and all that shit."
I mean, going back to horrors, if I ever do go to the UK, I'd like to hang out in Essex.
Why did you say you want to hang out with a horse or whores?
Horrors. We just talked about horrors
yeah.
in Netherlands. So speaking of horrors, if I ever do go to the UK, I'd like to hang out in Essex.
They're easy to find because they glow in the dark.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, they all wear like so much fake tan. It's like you can see them and hear them coming like around the corner. You see it.
Does that mean they're gonna like rub off on me? Like
warm, and it's like you remember that episode? You remember that episode from The Simpsons where they give Mr. Burns that hippie drug and suddenly he's glowing in the dark? Yeah, that's what they look like.
Fascinating.
Essex.
I can't tell you how many socks I've ruined to that episode. Cancer syrup, but it's still fine.
So yeah, Adam Lopez ran 63 laps in the 80-foot to Norwich, in a time of 35 minutes.
Okay.
24 seconds. Lopez bested the current Guinness World Record by 4.5 minutes, but evidence from his attempt still needs to be reviewed. Oh my God, it's not an official Guinness World Record.
Oh no,
by officials before becoming official. So yeah, I guess we're going to hold off on the applause and hold off on the congratulations. But
so I'm guessing it's like, is it like a lap pool where it's just all one level, or is it like your average suburban swimming pool where it's 3 feet and then it's 7 feet? And
it might be because I don't know whether how the situation is like places over here because I've never stepped into a public swim pool.
I mean, just running in water is already difficult, but then like if there is depth, that makes it harder. And then but if it's not, like this is still quite an accomplishment that is currently under review.
But in England, when I was like back in my youth, when I was learning to swim, they had like the main swimming pool, which had like the shallow end and the deep end. And then in another room, they had like a large quote unquote training swimming pool, which just like say just had one level. So maybe that's
I have to imagine it was in that.
Because if he's just like running and then he gets to the deep end, it's like bubbles, and then he dies.
He makes a left and then makes another left and he comes back up to the 3 feet. So he probably doesn't die, but yes.
This just screams to me as a man that thought he could swim, realized he couldn't swim, and it was like, fuck it, I'll just run. But I'm in the swimming pool already, so start the clock, pal.
Probably a safe assessment.
Swimming's overrated anyway. Can you swim?
Not very well.
No,
I mean, I can swim, but like, don't put me in the ocean. I made that mistake once. I was dumb.
Yeah, I'm in kind of, I guess, the same bracket. In that worst case scenario, I can swim enough to potentially not die, but it's not very graceful.
No.
It would just see a lot of like if you listen to the audio version, that probably sounded a bit weird, but yeah, I can't swim for shit. But you know what? I think I look good in a life vest. I like that.
Okay.
It's much more fun, right? So when we went on vacation, we went to Greece. We did the island hopping, and we spent a lot of time on boats. And you pull up your boat, and you can jump into the water. All these mugs running around swimming, knacker themselves out. Me, put my life vest on, plop myself in the water, floated about, drinking a beer, having much fun all the time.
Nice. I like to use water wings with the Muppets on it.
Yeah, or one of those like the rings that go around your waist with a little unicorn on.
Yes.
Fun. See, I'm getting drunk while these idiots are getting exercise.
Mm-hmm.
You're on vacation. Stop exercising. Ugh.
Oh,
Weirdos.
exercise. You're so sweet.
You're so overrated. Anyway, so I guess congratulations pending, Mr. Adam Lopez, for running in a swimming pool. That's like, imagine if like Usain Bolt decided to swim the 100-meter dash.
You're probably
Like,
really
just,
good at that.
basically just crawling along the running track. Make it happen. Anyway, that wraps up the first half of episode 148, 3-year anniversary. On the other side, we've got the birthday Blackjack quiz, Kush's movie review of Challengers,
It's gay.
and much, much more. So stick around. We'll be right back after this quick message from our not sponsors.
Join me, Fabio, for CBS Romance Monday. 4 great comedies and me on the night you need us most.
Fabio hosts all new romantic comedies Monday.
Place your bets. It's now time for birthday blackjack.
I also like to live dangerously.
Oh, welcome back to Waffle Box, 3rd anniversary edition, episode 148. It's the middle of the show, it's birthday time for the show quiz, and it's another installment of Birthday Blackjack, May 1st edition. If you are playing along at home, here are the rules of the game. So I'm going to name 5 celebrities that are celebrating their birthday today on May 1st. And Kush or yourselves have to guess how old they are now. And the way this points are worked is, let's say the person is 50 and you guess 55. You're 5 out, so you score 5. And the whole name of the game is to say 21 or under to not go bust in the blackjack. Simple.
By the way, shout out to superfan Alex on Twitter. He's apparently kills it in this game every week, is what he's told us.
You're talking bullshit.
Every time he goes, oh, I got a perfect score.
Bullshit.
I don't believe you, mate.
Oh, shots fired.
Shots
Anyway, shout out
fired.
to you, superfan Alex.
Yes, shout out to you, Alex. Thanks for listening. But you are talking out your ass. Anyway, let's turn our attention to this week's birthday, boys or girls. Numero uno.
Number 1.
Is filmmaker John Woo. How old is John Woo?
I want to say 61.
He's going with 61.
Mm-hmm.
How old is
He's
John
probably
Woo?
older.
John Woo turns 78 today.
Fucking hell.
So I think exactly like last week, you're kicking off strong. We're a good 17 points.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Singer and all-round goddamn gorgeous entertainer, Rita Coolidge. Rita Coolidge in the 80s,
I don't
baby.
know who that is.
Well, that doesn't bode well. So this is Rita Coolidge, singer from the 80s.
Singer from the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. 61.
No, 61 again. It's his lucky number. Rita Coolidge turned 79 today.
God damn it.
So that's 18 points.
Even if I get a perfect on the next 3, it's not enough.
So what's that? Geez, 35 you're at? No, so if you get the next 3 spot on, you can go down to 20. So
okay. Oh shit.
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah, right.
Number 3.
All right.
Number 3, not the person that fuck, what's his name? Name blanking. Who's the guy in Speed and
Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves, not the character Keanu Reeves played in the Matrix. Wes Anderson. How old is Mr. Anderson?
Oh,
Wes Anderson, not Neo.
53.
55. Oh,
Far out. Wow.
So close. Which does mean, unfortunately, we're now playing for funsies.
Number 4.
Number four. Country singer. This is good. Tim Wiki War McGraw. How old is Tim McGraw?
I know that name, but I couldn't tell you a song of his. I'm sure I've heard plenty of them, but 52.
And for 52 is your official guess. Tim Wiki War McGraw turned 57 today.
Dang.
That's 5. That puts you up to 42.
Oh my goodness. They're gonna break my legs, Mike. They're gonna break my legs.
Last chance. Try to save face.
Number 5.
A man who is not afraid of any ghosts. Singer, songwriter, Mr. Ray Parker Jr. Happy birthday, Ray Parker Jr. How old
He's like
is
78.
Ray Parker Jr.? Is that your official guess?
Yes, sir. 78.
78. Ray Parker Jr. on this very day, May 1st, 2024, turned 70.
Oh, good for him. He looks amazing.
Which gives you a final impressive score of Birthday Blackjack, where they obviously, remember, the name of the game is to try to get 21 or under.
And
you score quite impressive 50 points.
Is that high score? That's my high score now, isn't it?
You lose.
For some reason I have to go back, but for some reason I feel there was like a 70 at some point.
Oh, geez, really? Oh, God.
I think you nailed it the first 2 weeks, and then third week you just went rogue.
Yeah, I just took a shit. It was like, oh, that's sad. However, this game is still super fun, and I cannot wait for next week's edition.
As always, if you were playing along, let us know at Waffle Box what your score was, and if you was able to beat Kush, who scored a pathetic.
Oh, I have a feeling everybody beat Kush's score.
Even Alex O.
You're talking bullshit.
Hilarious.
Let's move on. We love you, Alex. Let's move on to a segment where Kush reviews a movie. It's a segment that we like to call Kush's Movie a Review.
Kush's Movie Review.
This week's Kush's Movie Review is Challengers, a movie about a bunch of rockets that all explode at the same time, killing everyone inside. It's very tragic, but it's a dark comedy starring Will Ferrell. He's so wacky.
Will Ferrell would do a comedy about the Challenger exploding.
He'd be good at it.
Fucking
Him
hell.
and what's his face? Who's the guy who's in Talladega Nights with him?
John McGinley.
No,
Not John.
John. He is
McGinley.
John. No, it's not McGinley.
McGinley is the other guy. Okay.
John. Jimmy. James.
John C. Riley.
John C. Riley. There we go. We got there eventually.
He could also be a basketball coach. I don't.
Got there in the end. Anyway, Challengers. What is the actual movie about, and is it any good? Take it away, Mr. Hayes.
We're talking about the movie Challengers. It is
Said
a
that.
hard R.
I always when it right. Here's a fun fact. Right, I'm going to say this. Right, I've always said every time you say this for the past 3 years, the thing pops into my head. And but whenever you say hard R, I always feel like oh, it sounds like when like people go oh he used the N word, but he used the hard R. Oh, it's awkward. That's the thing that pops into my head.
Okay.
So whenever you say hard R, I always think, Jesus Christ, the language in this movie must be horrific.
As opposed to a soft accented A. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand. Yo soy comprende. No, when I'm talking about a hard R, it's actually a little bit more than language. Is a full frontal male nudity. If you are 12 years old, you probably can't handle that. However, if you're an adult, I don't know why I have to make that aware for you, but yeah, there's a scene in a locker room where it's just dicks flipping around. Just nothing but
You
dicks.
want to see the dicks? You can handle the dicks.
You can't handle the dicks, apparently, some of you out there. But for everyone else who can, it's very benign. In fact, we'll come back to dicks in the locker room later. So this is a hard R, as I said, for obvious reasons. It's 2 hours and 11 minutes. Time is a big thing for me. No, I'm in. I'm in for all 2 hours and 11 minutes. What I don't like about this movie is it does a lot of time hopping. 1 year it's 20, it's the present. And then it's 3 years later. Then it's 17 years before that. It just keeps going back and forth, and it's just like I don't appreciate this. However, I wouldn't cut a frame out of this. This is directed by Luca Guerra. I don't know how to pronounce this gentleman's name. However, he did.
It was a good effort.
Thank you. He's an Italian gentleman. I think the biggest movie he's done was Call Me by Your Name, which got a bunch of Academy Award nominations like 5-6 years ago.
With Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet, I believe one of our first introductions to him, and then Armie Hammer is the love interest. And
Whatever
that was a
happened to
movie
him?
about a 40-year-old man taking advantage of a 17-year-old boy, and everybody was in love with it because, well, they were in Italy. I'm just like, that's super inappropriate. I don't care what you do. Yeah. Anyways, so this guy likes to make movies about dudes kissing, and I don't care about that. That's fine. This is written by a gentleman named Justin Kurtzkis, and this is actually his feature debut, or at least this is the first script he's ever written that's gotten made into a full-length feature movie. This stars Miss Zendaya, Oakland native Zendaya, a gentleman named Mike Feist, Faist, and then Josh O'Connor. Josh O'Connor is actually one of your countrymen, and they're all tennis players. They're just students, or they're just ranked amateurs, but everyone is on the cusp to going professional when the timeline starts, not necessarily when the movie starts. Zendaya, she's the next it girl. She's going to be the biggest tennis player ever. She's going to be bigger than the Williams sisters combined. That kind of gimmick. And then she meets these two tennis guys. We just mentioned the names. They're Art and Connor. And these guys have been roommates since boarding school since they were 11. But these dudes don't actually know any time apart from each other. And they don't know it, but they're gay as fuck. Like, they're trying to hide it. They're trying to resist it, but these gentlemen are very attracted to each other, and for whatever reason, the entire movie is just them fighting it. It's kind of crazy.
Why can't I quit you?
I don't think it's on that level. I think these guys are literally just that delusional. But anyway, so like, yeah,
they're not like they're aware of it and they're trying to like fight it. It's kind of more of an internal dialogue with each other where like, oh, I really like this guy, but
I mean, these two have before bodily fluids were presented. These gentlemen had an intimate relationship with each other. Like, they know each other's movements, they finish each other's sentences, they even chase after the same girls. Zendaya is one of those girls, and at first she's like, all right, well, we're out of beer. Who wants to bang? And she gets on the bed, and they're like, oh, we're gonna bang Zendaya, great. And she tricks them into making out with each other. And once that goes down, she's like, later, deuces. Bunch of bad words I'm not going to say, but she didn't say that either. So.
Oh, she didn't use the F word, did she?
No, actually, no. That never comes up once. So that's why I retracted my joke there, because she doesn't do that. But she's super duper unimpressed now. She's like, yeah, you guys, you got to go work on that together. I got to go back home. So anyways, she eventually blows her knee out, and then she becomes a kingmaker. Are you familiar with that term?
I didn't play chess, so
That's okay. It's not. I don't believe it's a chess phrase, but it's basically the wife or the secondary who's pulling all the, not necessarily pulling all the strings, but uh, she ends up with Art, and Art, despite being not better than his roommate, um, ends up having the better career because she is manipulating everything. Manipulating is a strong word, but she's getting him the endorsements. She's getting him the bookings. Every piece of success this guy has is because of Zendaya's efforts behind the scenes. Because once she blows out her knee, her career is done. There's no more tennis for her. So she becomes his coach, a mentor, again, a PR agent, etc., etc., etc. Every nice thing they have is because of Zendaya. Patrick, Connor, whatever, the other guy, he's living the exact opposite life. He's now going from tournament to tournament, hoping to just like, if he loses, he still gets like a check for $400. So like he's not above throwing games if it means like I really need to pay the hotel bill or I blew out a tire. Like when he needs quick cash, tennis is for some reason his only result. He went straight pro instead of like figuring things out, going to college. Zendaya and the first guy both end up going to Stanford, and that's why their relationship gets so much stronger. But this guy ends up doing really well, and then he ends up becoming like the 236th best tennis player in the world.
boom.
Quite a distance from top 10.
And then 237th though.
And then he is not above whoring himself out for a place to stay. So he's like just right swiping on everybody on Tinder. He's trying to get all women, and at one point, like a dude's profile just pops up. He's like, "Bed's a bed," and he's like just scrolling through, just like he is just a degenerate and a loser. And despite neither of these guys are really good tennis players, so what I don't end up understanding is why Zendaya just didn't end up with a better tennis player. Again, the guy she marries is like not even the top 100. And the best he can do is whatever. But he's also like, I've been doing this forever, Zendaya, and I'd really just like to retire regardless of what happens next year. And she's like, all right. She's already making plans to move on. Anyways, like my biggest complaint of this movie is the time skip. Again, we start off when they're 17, then they're 35, then they're 22, then they're 19 again. Like it just goes back and forth or whatever. I don't understand Zendaya's motivation other than just trying to be the best tennis entity. But I guess to the point where like they have that scene where the three of them are on the beach and they're talking like, well, why do you play tennis? And Zendaya comes up with this whole like karate philosophy, and it's just like, all right, this is kind of corny. But I like where you're going with it still. So, anyways, challengers, for as much sex as is promised in this, there ain't shit happening. Again, there's a thing in the locker room where there's just dicks flopping everywhere. If that makes you uncomfortable,
I'm very aroused.
But it's as uncomfortable as just being in a locker room. But you're not in a locker room. Where again, there's that one guy who does the gimmick where he's fully naked and just puts his foot up on the bench right in front of you and has a conversation. You're just like, the fuck is your problem, man? But then there's like, guys walking out of the shower. And then there's a scene where, for whatever reason, they focus on bathroom stalls and one of them opens and the guy is wearing a t-shirt, but no bottoms, no shorts, no boxers. He's just Porky Pig in it. And I'm just like, this is wildly gratuitous, sir. But it is also just dumb. So
I remember a friend of mine, while I was on vacation, was sharing a hotel room, and he walked out of the bathroom completely naked, except for a pair of socks.
For a pair of socks.
What animal puts their socks on first? Put your fucking underwear on, weirdo.
Yeah,
I was more offended than that. If you just walked out completely naked, barefoot as well, I would have been like, oh, come on, put that away.
The socks on by themselves.
The socks made it's like, what the fuck?
Yes. That's the thing where you have to go like, what happened there?
Yeah.
Did you walk? Did you go to the bathroom without your fresh pair of underwear? Like, why are you just wearing socks? I would question that too heavily. So, anyways, I enjoyed this movie. Biggest complaint is the time skip. 4 out of 5. But this movie will be forgotten because it promises nothing, or it does not deliver what it promises. You think Zendaya is going to get Eiffel Towered at one point, and just nothing. Don't even worry about it. Forget I brought it up.
Is it like based on a true story, or is it just a very badly
no,
written?
I believe this is just some dude's story.
Some guy's fan fiction.
His tennis fan fiction. I did find it amusing that there are several times where they set up the pre-ritual before any tennis match, where it's like this guy might as well be contending for the World Heavyweight Championship. Like he's not ducking and weaving or whatever, but they're treating this man like a gladiator. You know, like he's got a physical therapist, giving him the rub down and putting him in awkward positions and like handing him his racket like it's a goddamn sword. It's like I said, I enjoyed this movie. So
You're a wrecking machine.
There you go.
Did he chase any chickens?
Good question. No. There's actually no training montage. Could have used a training montage.
Everyone loves a montage. Montage.
They do.
There you go. Challenges. A not real story about I don't know.
Not real people.
What? It's about tennis. Zendaya. You get to see Zendaya in it. She's pretty good.
She is a good-looking lady.
She's still with Tom Holland.
I believe so.
Good for him. Good for him.
Right?
Good for him. So there are challenges starring Zendaya and 2 other fellas. 4 out of 5. Check it out if you like tennis and Zendaya. Other movie news. Did you see? I was watching. Like it's the Deadpool trailer. The second one came out.
Yeah. It actually dropped before last week's episode, and we missed it.
We missed it. But so I've been watching a lot of because I'm a nerd. I'm a huge nerdy McNerd face. And I was watching like this video where they were like breaking down every scene in the trailer and things like that. And it was very fascinating. This guy even went so far as to say like he's like there's a rumor that Taylor Swift is going to make a cameo in this movie because
I've been hearing about that.
She's best friends with Blake Lively, who is Ryan Reynolds' wife. And she was
during the whole season of Taylor for Kansas City's last season. Like there was a game where Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds were in the box with Taylor Swift, and everybody lost their mind. Like she's going to be in Deadpool 3. She's going to be Dazzler.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. So the rumor is that she's going to play Dazzler.
Cool.
And what put more fuel to the fire was that on her new album, apparently, I took his word for it because I haven't listened to Taylor Swift's album. No offense, but I'm not a Swiftie. Apparently, at the end of one of the songs, she like the last line of the lyrics just randomly. There's a dramatic pause, and then she just goes "dazzled" or something like that. And everyone's like, "Oh, see."
So it's got to mean that she's in the new fucking movie. Yeah, I guess.
But I was thinking, do you know what would be fantastic? Just to capitalize off of all the, obviously, other than the kerfuffle about her being a very successful and very good singer, songwriter, and all that stuff. Obviously, what has she been most famous for recently? And getting all that attention for. So I thought, unless you are going to have her be Dazzler, the character, what I thought would be hilarious because Deadpool, fourth wall breaking and all that shit.
Sure.
Just randomly during an action scene, Deadpool does something really impressive with his katanas, and then it just cuts away, and there's Taylor Swift going, "Yeah!" Like just keep cutting to her
random, but it would
fight.
fit.
It'll be hilarious. There you go. I don't think that's going to happen, but
probably not.
I don't even know. It's Dazzler. I'm assuming Dazzler's a good character. They wouldn't make her a baddie, right?
Dazzler has the power of disco.
Ooh.
So I'll just leave it there.
She has become my favorite.
You'll never
Marvel
guess when
character.
she was created. The 1970s.
What's your superpower? I can self-heal and I can punch really strong. What's your superpower? Well, I turn into a giant green monster and I can smash everything. What's your superpower? I can control thunder with my hammer. What's your superpower? Disco. That's amazing. I didn't know. I'm gonna now straight after this. Guess who's doing a deep dive into Google and is gonna know everything about Dazzler by next week.
I feel you're going to see a lot of comparisons to her and Jubilee, but that's a whole 20-year gap. So take it with a grain of salt. Who do you watch for your trailer reactions? So like, I saw the trailer, and then I waited for Black Nerd Comedy to do his thing, and he doesn't post as much as he used to anymore. But I knew he was going to post about that, and obviously he liked it. Then he broke down some Easter eggs. But nothing crazy. We're like 163 Easter eggs we found in this 2-minute video.
So I'll try to find someone to give a shout out to. Not that they don't need it, but I'll be honest. Typically, whenever there's like a trailer that comes out that I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome, I will literally just go to YouTube and search Deadpool 3 trailer reaction, and I'll just watch pretty much all of them.
Wow.
So I've watched I've watched the trailer about 30 times and watched people all go, oh, that's great. Same time. But the one for the Easter eggs and all that stuff is a channel called New Rockstars.
Not familiar with them, but okay.
They currently have 4 million subscribers, so they need our help. So if you could go over there and click subscribe. Then
are we just doing it wrong? Should we just be like pointing out Easter eggs everywhere? And I don't know.
That would be great if we just walk around or we can just Photoshop actual Easter eggs into movie scenes, and then that'll be like, oh, did you spot that Easter egg?
I love it.
Maybe we could do that. So yeah, hopefully by the time our video comes out, hopefully they'll go from 4 million to 4,074,000 subscribers with our help. So hopefully they give us another shout out. That's how it works. Reciprocate.
Speaking about Ryan Reynolds, so I tagged you in a Variety article the other day.
You did.
They're buying stock in a Mexican football club now. Can they do that? Is that not like some sort of like conflict of interest?
It is not. I think that, because I don't know what I can't remember if it's the FIFA rules, which is the world governing body of soccer, or if it's a UEFA thing. But you definitely cannot have stake in two teams in the same.
Okay, so they're in a different hierarchy. What you're saying?
Yeah, so Wrexham is in the English pyramid, and obviously the Mexican team is in Mexico. So there's no real conflict of interest. It's not like they're going to play each other.
Right. So, and then speaking about Wrexham, Wrexham is coming to San Jose in July against Arsenal. Manchester. Chelsea. Okay.
Oh, I know. I can't remember. They're playing 2 games in California and 1 in Vancouver, and I can't remember which. But I know they're playing Chelsea at some point. I can't
Arsenal is playing in Los Angeles like the 2 days after that.
But and they playing in like the Rose Bowl or some shit.
Levi Stadium, the future home of Super Bowl 60.
I tell you what, I have no reason to believe they wouldn't, but Ryan Reynolds is a marketing masterpiece. If Wrexham sell out Levi Stadium,
well, I don't know how long tickets have been on sale, but there are plenty of tickets right now. The cheapest is $50. That's in the nosebleed, and then the most expensive
$60 for a nosebleed.
$50 for a nosebleed plus taxes, so it'll be like 70 plus. But anyway, but then midfield, $490 a ticket.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
I love you, Ryan, but no. Bad. But I don't know. Maybe we could get into the whole thing about that. You're playing like you're a team that's in third division of English, and you're charging $460 to see him.
I think that's an arena thing, personally. But
oh yeah, of course they have to pay for the rent. Still, whatever. Whatevs. Just get Mint Mobile to sponsor
$50. I think $50 is a pretty good deal.
I mean,
Especially since those guys are on the telly.
I've never been to Levi Stadium, so I don't know what the view is like. Like, for example,
That's
like
nice.
MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, the nosebleed seats, you still get a decent view of the pitch. So
I think as long as you regardless of if it's on the floor or in the nosebleeds, you want to be behind the highest point, because when that sun comes out, it is unforgiving. So when I went to WrestleMania 31, like, I was in hell for like 90 minutes, and then the sun finally dipped behind the wall. So that means everyone on the other side of the arena was just getting fried the entire day. But I was just like, oh, this is kind of pleasant. Oh, there's a breeze. Oh, I like this. Oh, just my glasses here.
Well, there you go, kids. Don't stand on the rising sun.
I believe it'd be the west. Don't stand on the east side of Levi's.
Yeah. Put that on the t-shirt. Anyway, challenges 4 out of 5.
Oh yeah, 4 to 5. Good move. It's good, but people are going to forget about it.
Let's wrap this week's show up by giving everyone warm and fuzzy feelings inside for this week's feel-good story of the week.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel-good story comes to us from bonny old Scotland. Scotland. And stars a young man named Brodie Brown, who is from Stirling, which is in Scotland.
Okay. That adds up.
Brodie was born with a rare condition called cystic hygroma. Sure. If I'm pronouncing that right. Which basically left him unable to breathe on his own when he was a booby. And would lead to him requiring over 70 operations over the course of his childhood to make sure he could not die. You know, that's important. You need to breathe. Doctors believe that he would never be able to speak due to all the operations. Thankfully, he was somewhat able to speak, but the whole toll of this thing of going through the operations and the rehab and blah, 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 obviously left him less than ideally mentally. And unfortunately, he had a psychotic breakdown at the age of 14 due to all this. Hearing of his story, the band, the Fratellis, if you don't know them, look them up. They're a fun band. They're a fun little band. But they gifted him a bass guitar for his 15th birthday, which quickly ignited his passion for music. Not only was Brodie eventually able to speak, but he started writing music and eventually taught himself to sing. And recently, at the age of 18 years old, he was recognized by winning not one, but 2 awards at the most recent John Lennon Songwriting Contest. For those that don't know, obviously it's a singing contest. There's lots of famous people, and I can't remember the exact, but obviously Yoko Ono was on the board. So basically, she was like, yeah. And Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers was one of the judges and things like that. So he won 2 awards for his singing at just age 18. He said the fact that songs that he has written himself can help other people is the dream for him. So congratulations to Brodie Brown, not only just being able to speak, you defied the odds, but you sang and now you've won awards for your singing. Congratulations, you're a star. Even though you are Scottish, you do have a weird accent, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know what it is about the Scottish accent. It's one of those accents where, like, if you hear a woman speaking Scottish, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before in this show. We've done 148 of them. But yeah, Scottish accent and a woman. Wow. Scottish accent and a man. You feel fear for your life. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Super aggressive. Like, even if they could you pass me the ketchup? You know, okay.
Yeah, I was.
Shout out to you, Brody Brown. Boom, boom, boom. That wraps up another episode of Waffle Box. 148 of them in the books. 3 whole years of doing this. If you have listened to 1, 10, 50, 148 of them, we salute you and thank you very much for supporting the show. If this is your first time hearing us, make sure you smash that subscribe button, get the thumbs up and all that good stuff for the algorithm. If you are listening to us on Spotify, hit the follow button there. Blah, 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 blah. Enjoy wafflebox.com for all the links there. You can support us at Wafflebox on X. I am at Only Mike Fish. He's Kush, but he's on Facebook. But he also does another podcast, which is nice. Microdose, microdose. Every Friday for the time being. Until it takes a little break. But what do you got coming up on this week's Microdose?
Yeah, man, we're gonna have Steven Steinbach come back to the show. We're gonna just catch up a little bit. It's been a while since we heard from him, so check it out this Friday. Steven Steinbach. It's always a fun hang. It's always a fun hang. And I realized why I stopped doing the whole make it rain gimmick, because now I gotta pick up all this fucking cash off the floor. It's so stupid.
It's pretty fucking annoying. I remember one time I used to work at a casino. And someone asked me, this is like back in the days, right, before you had like machines that would pay out in actual paper money, or you get nowadays you get the tickets,
you get a little coupon,
go to
ticket,
the machine,
yes.
scan. This was like when actual coins would come out the machines, and then the person would give you a bucket full of the coins, and I would have to run it through the coin counting machine, and then I would have to give them the paper money in return. And one time it was a very quiet afternoon. And I got bored, and so after changing up the 300 pounds of winnings, I walked up to her and just went, "Make it rain!" And I threw it up in the air. And she just looked at me with this stoic look and just went, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And I just picked it up. Fun times. I should write a book. Amazing stories like that.
Big derp energy, that one.
Probably on the edge of their seat. So yeah, check there. Go to bosnet.family for all the links there. You can check out Microdose. Good enough of me. Good enough of him. Lathan! Any final words for the people?
Good night, everyone. And remember, as the birthday boy himself, Ray Parker Jr. once said, don't be afraid of any goats. See y'all next week.
Yeah, fuck them goats.
Goddamn goats.
But until next time, take care of yourselves. And each other.
That's all, folks.
Play me off, Johnny.